What helps a woman raise her self-esteem so that she can attract true love?
First thing, realizing that she won the lotto. She got to exist. She made it through all the barriers, all the customs officers into this universe to exist. And fuck yeah, that means you're magnificent. You were curated by the universe because of your particular magnificence and beauty and intelligence. And it's an indignity to that lotto ticket to forget and and um, surround yourself with people who reflect that back to you. Curate your tribe. And in terms of raising your self-esteem, I said this earlier, but every time you act in the world, especially in conflict situations where there's tension or pain or frustration, act in a way that you would be proud of. That if you were on a giant reality TV show and everyone in the audience were people you admired, and everyone in the audience were also all your future selves, what would you have to do right now to know that the audience would be clapping for you? Whatever you would have to do to get the standing ovation in that imaginary audience, do that. That's how you build your self-esteem, is because what I'm asking you to do is act in a way that is commensurate with your values. Here's your values, here's your behavior. The bigger the gap between your values and your actual behavior, the lower your self-esteem. So the trick to raise your self-esteem is to start acting more and more aligned with your values, and then you will be out there in the world doing your bird call and your partner will find you. And make sure you're doing your bird call. If you're single, you have to be in settings where you do your passion, the thing that you're most inspired by so others can see you doing it, and that's your bird call, and that's how your partner will find you.
Yeah, and you've always said that, right? And you got to like own your passion, own yourself, own who you are. And it's funny, when I went to Burning Man, the guy I was most interested in that I was dating, I was literally dating like four people, was like, I was teaching sex magic, co-ed sex magic at Burning Man, and I was a little like, ooh, like I'm not even sure he'd be okay with that, right? Like I'm not even sure that he would celebrate that. And there I am teaching co-ed sex magic, and the guy I'm with now literally got his workshop canceled, rode across the playa, forced his way into the workshop, even though Emily Fletcher was guarding the door, sat down, watched me teach co-ed sex magic, said the moment that I was like holding this like massive court and everyone was in ecstatic rapture. And I was like, I just want to remind you that everything you're feeling is yours. All of this power is yours. All of this magic is yours. I'm just a guardian of this work. I own none of it. And I'm just here to support you. He was like, I felt totally in love with you in that moment because I knew who I was dealing with when I saw you do that. And it's such a testament to what you teach. I wasn't like sitting around being like, oh, let me like chase a man who doesn't want me. I was like, no, I'm fucking teaching hundreds of people co-ed sex magic. And then bam, the man who falls in love with that, because that's such an expression of my heart, soul, and essence, is the match.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then for men, what's the number one thing that you wish more men knew to be in true love partnership?
You want a queen? If you want a goddess, really take on treating every single woman, married, single, young, old, every single woman, treat them as if they're an avatar of the goddess, as practice for when you find your woman. Okay. You're not like, oh, she's just the waitress or she's just the neighbor. You treat every single woman as if it's an opportunity to hone the very refined craft of relating to a woman as if she is happening once and for all and never again, which is what your woman's going to want to feel from you. And so you have to love the way you treat women to deserve a queen.
And why go for a queen rather than arm candy?
Man or woman, but I'm speaking to the men right now. You can make all the money in the world, you can have the high status, you can have the jet, you can have the boat, you can have all the accolades. And if you haven't felt the fulfillment of true love in this lifetime before you die, you will never feel truly successful. And when I say the fulfillment of true love, I mean you look into a woman's eyes who you know to be the most extraordinary mind, heart, and soul that you've ever encountered. And when she looks at you, you know she loves you every single bone, every single crazy, every single part of your suboptimal personality. And she says, I fucking love you. To have that in a partner means you're capable of anything. All the success you have will be amplified exponentially. Nothing wrong with arm candy, and there's nothing wrong with a beautiful woman. And she deserves to be with a man who looks at her like she's the most extraordinary human he's ever met. And so, unless you're able to look in a woman's eye and feel equal, like two wings on one bird, and that every decision you make in your life would only be edified and increased in quality by adding her to the consideration, that kind of partnership literally creates new realities, creates new worlds. I would love to see a future where every company, every country, every leadership position was held by a couple in love, so that any decision being made has to be run through both of their nervous systems, both of their value sets, both of their creativities, and they're so strong that neither one would collapse or coerce each other. A decision that comes out of that struggle, where both of them have to sign their name to, it's a very trustable decision. We need more couples in love leading, and ultimately every child born is to two leaders, and I want them to be in love. I say that I don't work for the couple, I work for the unborn children of the couple. And so I'm influencing the next generation by making sure that people who procreate are actually in love and in it for the long run, as much as possible.